think the Euros. Let's see the Euros. Who will be on the England squad?
His assists and goals this season have been phenomenal.
Exactly, and
Henderson
our
and
Achilles heel's been penalties as well.
Rashford
penalty
are
shootouts.
not
You know, you've got probably one of the
included
best in the
in
world in
the
Ivan Toney. So you know that's a given.
Cole Palmer
in the
as well.
Euros
Palmer, good
professional
penalty
squad.
taker, you know, Harry Kane. So you know we've got three there already, and then you're looking for two of the better players who are playing well on their day who want to put their hand up and go, "I'll take it." You know, because there's nothing
something
worse than when you see
2
talented
seconds,
footballers
Daddy.
not taking a penalty. You know, I can't stand that. It's my pet hate. You know, you've got players, centre halves taking penalties and forwards are not taking them. So, you know, you look there, that's a solid three to start with. And then, you know, Saka might be having, well, Saka will take one. That's four, you know, great the way he bounced back after missing a penalty. You know, that makes a difference. It will be tight. It will be tight.
What about you know Gareth Southgate? A lot of fans, when they criticise Gareth Southgate, they say he's too cautious
So
as an England manager. He's got these great players, but he's too cautious. He doesn't let them play. England should have done even better than they have under Gareth Southgate. Do you think at this tournament he'll sort of take the handbrake off a little bit, throw caution to the wind, now or never time? Or is he still going to be the Gareth Southgate that you know?
You know what? He's played as a defender virtually all his life. So every training session he's ever been involved in has been a defensive training session.
Yeah.
You know, his mentality, and I played with him as my captain,
So yeah,
stop goals going in. You know, he's a defender. His job was to do that. We can all say afterwards, you know, when the Italy game should have gone for it. The worst thing that could ever happen, it goes 1-1. If it goes 2-0, we're European champions and we're defending this tournament. But you learn from that. You know, I don't know. It's hard. You know, only great managers go out and play gung-ho and they got the players to do that. We haven't got the defence to play that kind of football. And that's where I think he goes and sits back and goes, we need help.
Okay, look, let's do it because we have now got the England team that will make it. Oh, I love the drum roll there. Let's go through them in full then. So, we have in goal Dean Henderson, Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale and James Trafford. So,
okay.
as we
Dean
said,
Henderson, that's
Pope,
good.
no room for
Jordan
him this time
Henderson,
around. It's Dean
Aaron
Henderson,
Ramsdale,
Jordan Pickford, Aaron
Pickford
Ramsdale and
Susan,
James
our number
Trafford.
one, yes.
Let's go through the defenders then. As we
Trafford,
heard,
yes.
Jack Branthwaite is in the squad.
Branthwaite,
So too
yeah.
is Lewis
Don't.
Dunk. Told you about him.
All
Joe
right.
Gomez gets the nod.
Gomez,
As does Mark Gahey.
Gahey,
Konsa
Konsa,
is in as well.
Maguire.
Harry Maguire. Gerard
Why
Konsa,
Harry
we already
Maguire
told you
should be
about
in
him.
there?
Luke
Konsa.
Shaw, John
Whoa,
Stones, Kieran
Konsa
Trippier,
will this in there.
and Kyle
Luke
Walker.
Shaw, yes.
Let's go to
John
the
Stones,
midfielders then.
yeah,
Trent
and Walker,
Alexander
yeah.
Arnold is in, as is Conor Gallagher. Curtis
Oh,
Jones, we gave you the nod about
Alexander
him.
Arnold.
So too, Kobe Mainu. Declan Rice, of
I
course,
wouldn't
is in
say
there,
I would have
as
picked
is
Gallagher
Adam
in the
Walton.
Euros because it's
And the forwards,
Curtis
there's
Jones,
a lot of
meaning,
them.
yeah.
Jude Bellingham,
Yes,
Jarrod
Bellingham
Bowen,
in there.
Eberechi Eze,
Yes.
Phil Foden,
Bellingham.
Jack Grealish, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, James
Yes.
Maddison,
Well
Cole
done.
Palmer,
Oh, we got
Bukayo Saka,
Palmer.
Ivan Toney, and Ollie Watkins. So,
Because it's
plenty
saved.
to get our teeth
Wouldn't
into.
pick
In around 5 minutes or so, we'll hear
Cole
from
Palmer there.
Gareth Southgate
And
and his reasons
Ivan
as to why
Toney,
he's
I meant.
chosen those players.
I mean,
I'm just going to start with some of them because, you know, we'll start with Nick Pope, for example, with the goalkeepers. You know, he doesn't get the nod. Did that surprise you? Dean Henderson?
Yeah, he hasn't been fit and he hasn't played for a long time. So, yeah, he's got his 1 and 2. You only need a 1 and 2, in my opinion. I mean, you take 3 goalkeepers as a safety net. Really,
Gordon,
in hindsight,
all
if
right.
the third goalkeeper
It's
plays,
just a professional,
as a
so
manager, you're
hopefully,
bang out of luck. Bang out of luck.
Yeah, and we mentioned it before, didn't we? Aaron Ramsdale
hopefully
is
in
number 2.
the
Yeah.
when
That's-
come the
that
Euros,
is a slight
hopefully
concern because
Gareth
of the
Southgate
lack
will
of-
not
It
choose
is,
Gallagher
you know,
because
I
we
don't
don't
know,
want
Aaron, but he
Gallagher
comes
in there.
across as quite a
Watkins,
confident
Yeah.
man, and I think
because
that's what you need. I think
I know it's
you
too.
know, he is at
Watkins is a
Arsenal.
good lad,
He's
but
playing,
he's
training with the top level. With
he's
good
too
finishes
young.
in training. So I haven't got to worry about that. You know, I think if he has to come in, I'll be more than happy.
I love
Okay,
Eze.
in terms of the defence,
Eze is
I
really
just was
good.
looking at my Tyreek Mitchell doesn't make it. You know, we have got a problem at left back, haven't we? Luke Shaw obviously does get the nod, even though we
Yeah.
know he's got injury problems as
But
well.
Marcus
Kieran
Rashford
Trippier
and
is in
Jordan
there. Did you make
Henderson
that
are out.
the defence? Any surprises in
When you
there?
look at the squad, that is perhaps the weakest part of the squad
So-
at the moment because, you know, Luke Shaw has made it into the squad, but he's had
I'm going to stop you because someone far more important is about to speak.
Gareth.
And
I'm all right.
Gareth Southgate is speaking now.
Gareth Southgate. Southgate has just taken his seat, and he's going to give us his reasons as to why he's chosen these players, who's in, who's out. And Rob Dorset, I believe, is going to ask that first question to Gareth Southgate. Let's see what he's got to say.
We should get a fair spread around the room. And as ever, we'll start with Rob Dorset.
See you, Gareth. Big day, and you've made some big decisions, particularly in terms of one or two players that you've left out that have been very important for you for a long time now. Let's start with Marcus Rashford. Why is he not in the list?
Yeah, I mean, these are, of course, difficult calls.
A couple of years, really. He went to Saudi Arabia, and from my understanding, a big reason why he came back to Europe was to try and keep him relevant and close and in your thoughts for the England squad. So he's not now in your top 33, apparently. Is he just not playing well enough in your eyes to kind of earn a place at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, the 33 isn't quite a fair definition because we're taking a longer squad with some young players to have a look at as well. So, I mean, Hendo's given himself every chance. The determining factors
Also, Rich James and Ben Chilwell's not included as well.
And just
So hopefully
it
might be
intensity in
might
the
get
game since then.
Chilwell in
So,
the Euros.
yeah, look,
and
he's a
Rich
fantastic
James as well.
professional. That was a really difficult call to make because he's been so important, so supportive in my time here. And I have to say, all the boys, when I've spoken to them, Ben, Marcus, Jordan, who were the three that were with us last
John's
time,
done-
were incredibly professional.
Yeah, yes,
and,
okay.
yeah, considering the disappointment they dealt with.
Can't
it
wait
very
for the
well.
Euros.
You hinted at it there, saying this is a
Adam
provisional squad
Wharton.
of 33. So
Ooh, isn't
there's lots of really exciting youngsters you've brought in that, I'll be honest, we didn't expect. Adam
Interesting.
Wharton, for example, Gerald Quansah, Curtis Jones, Jared Branthwaite. But this is a provisional squad. You've got to cull it to 26 by the 7th of June. What chance have those youngsters got of making that final grade?
Well, everybody has a chance. There are definitely some players that we wanted to see. The
Got
reason for the
Alexander
longer
Arnold,
squad, we were in a
alright.
similar situation before the last Euros. And
Just to
more
confirm,
time
it's
is gonna
just
help
the
us make
provisional
better
squad.
decisions and might help us to give a better balanced squad. So there are some injury issues that are
I
very
bet
obvious
Palmer
and
will
apparent,
go
and
to
there
the
are some
Euros.
that are a little bit more nuanced and that we don't have
Hopefully,
all the information on. Sometimes you need to work with the
Marcus
players
Rashford
and see
might
the
go to
players
the
and see how they
Euros.
react physically to training.
In the England
So,
squad. For the
yeah,
England squad, I
there-
meant.
this has been as complicated a group as I can remember picking, and we've had quite a few complicated ones. But as I say, I
So,
think we can make better decisions.
Jordan Henderson
but
and
give
Marcus
ourselves more
Rashford
time
is
and
out
we've got
for
time,
this
so there are
provisional
moments
squad for
where
now.
Actually, time doesn't help you to make a better decision, but in this instance, it will.
Hi Gareth. Luke Shaw is included in this squad that has struggled with injury. Just from your point, where is he at the moment, and what's your understanding of his situation?
Yeah, I have to say,
I would
you know,
like
he's
to
up
see
against it.
what.
He's missed a
Let's
lot
see
of
if we
football.
can see if Jarrell
The fact that he's
Quansah
been
can
our
do for
first choice in that
England
position would
for
probably
this
give him a bit longer than we might have done.
preparation for the
Um,
Euros.
And again, I'm not sure what's realistic
We'll
at this
see
moment in
about that.
time. So I've talked with him, medical team are liaising with Manchester United very closely. But yeah, I'd have to say he's a long shot.
So
And in that
Gareth
midfield
Southgate
area of the midfielders that are in the
not
long list, there's
included
under
in
100
Marcus
caps
Rashford and
there.
Jordan
Is
Henderson, not
experience an
included
issue
for
or
the
feel the
33
players' talent
England
carries
training
them
squad
through?
for the Euros.
Well, clearly, you'd like to
So
have
let's see
experienced
the
players,
comments saying
and
there.
it's still possible that we can play in a way that we have that. But we need to see some of these younger guys as well. They've had good seasons. We can learn more about them, and they are, we feel, the best players at this moment in time to be able to come and fulfil the roles that we're talking about.
In the forwards area, there's 12 players listed, Jude Bellingham among them. How many are you expecting to cut from that 12 for the final squad?
Let's see what Ivan Toney can do
Be obsessed with
in
where
the
we've positioned
three
the players,
sessions
'cause some of them could
of
be
the
in
for
different
the
areas of the
Euros.
pitch. So I have to write a list, and then these guys put a heading on it. We should just have forwards and backs, and it would all be a lot easier, maybe. But yeah, again, we don't know where we will need to cut. This is part of the issue. If we picked tomorrow, we might end up taking a dozen defenders because we've got so many questions, and we'd obviously rather not do that. So In another couple of weeks, I think we'll be much
Fortunately,
clearer on a number
Reece
of issues.
James and
So there are,
and Ben
that's why
Chilwell
there
are not
opportunities for
included
everybody.
in this
I'd also have to say,
this
I think
squad
you can
as well.
take too many forwards as well, and you can have too many options in certain areas of the pitch. And of course, with forwards, you've got to give them love and make them feel special. And if you've got too many, that can also be complicated. So yeah, there's a lot to think about over the next couple of weeks. I'd have loved it to have been cleaner and more definitive, but it's not the situation we're in.
Hi Gareth. Obviously Jordan Henderson offers a huge amount in terms of leadership and what he brings to the camp away from the pitch. Are you confident that the squad will be okay in that facet even without him?
Well, he'll be a miss. There's no question about that. He's an exceptional individual, fantastic human being, and he's been
I'm gonna
in that
check
leadership role since I took
and
charge.
I'm watching the England
Equally,
for
in the last game we
just to
played,
make sure, guys.
we had a lot of our
confirm.
senior players.
I'll be
missing.
going
We made
to
Declan captain, and him and
the
one or two
England
others.
versus
With that
Bosnia
space,
Herzegovina
really rose to that
on the
challenge,
3rd of
and that's-
June.
that's
If you want to meet me
what you
and
hope to see and what we have to
just
challenge other people
take a photo
to do.
with me,
We've got young
just
players with a lot of caps.
you
There's
have
no
a
reason why young
ticket.
players can't lead.
Make sure if
the
you have
dynamic
if
will
you
be
want to
slightly
see me,
different.
if you want a photo with me, that's
but
fine.
Also, you're giving space for other people to mature and develop.
Does that mean we can expect to see a slightly different leadership group within the squad in Germany?
Well, we've moved away a little bit from a defined leadership group for the very reason that I think we've got so many people who lead in different ways and have a voice. And sometimes when you limit that group, actually, it means that others don't step forward when they might. They defer to a hierarchy. And we've got too many good influences around the group that I want input from various areas. Now, there will be certain things where I consult with a smaller group, and I think that would be normal for any coach of any team. But I have noticed occasions where, even with a captain, vice captain, there's a bit of deferential behaviour, and we don't want that. We need people to step forward. We encourage it.
So
and,
hopefully
over the
England
last year or so,
does
we've allowed
win
that space as
in
well.
this Euros.
Another experienced player who's not
Hopefully.
Eric Dyer.
Hopefully.
Given his form for Bayern Munich, were you tempted to bring him back?
Yeah, he's played very well for Bayern, and I know that they are very, very happy with him. We think he's just behind the other guys we've selected. We watch every game. He'd obviously played well in some big matches in the Champions League as well. So conscious of that, but we've assessed all of that right across the board.
Gareth, you mentioned Gareth over here. Hi. You mentioned sort of other options instead of Marcus Rashford on the left. Do you consider Phil Foden an option on the left, or is he, as he's pretty much showing for Manchester City, a number 10? And is Anthony Gordon an option to start, given his form for Newcastle?
Well, Anthony is has obviously missed the last game with an injury, so that's part of that. Phil has played off the right, off the left. I think the key with Phil is where he ends up, not his starting position. So when he plays on the left with City, sometimes he stays wide, but very often he's allowed to drift, and it's always been the same with us. He's allowed to drift. Then there's where the player has to defend. Jude all season has played as a 10. Sometimes has defended on the left wing for Real Madrid. So I think it's about where these players arrive and where you allow them to drift to that's the key. I think if you spoke to all of our players in the forward areas, we never pin them to a touchline. That's not how we work.
I'm watching at home, Tom.
There is that freedom. It's obvious how
Watching at home.
brilliant season Phil's had, how he's stepped up in big games. Not only when big players have been out, but when he's been playing alongside them as well. And you want him in those central areas as you do one or two others. So we have to find the best way of making that happen.
James.
Hi, Gareth. You mentioned obviously balancing a number of injury issues. Can you give us an idea of the number? I mean, just how many players do you think you've got at the moment out of 33 that are carrying something?
No, I don't. I mean, I'd have to go through the list, but
Just remember,
there are a
guys,
significant number.
Kawasaki got
That would
33
give guarantee
players.
looking at the players
33
who
players on his
have missed the
squad.
few games
for the
in
England
season,
provisional
and players
squad.
who are only just back
But
from
when
the
we
last few
come to
games
the
of season.
Euros,
So we've got an
drop
important
Gareth
physical
Southgate will
challenge
cut
in
the
that some
players
players
to
are going to need
26
a bit
squad.
more work, but we've got to make sure we push at the right times and get them the minutes that they need in the games. And other players don't need much at all and need refreshing. And so, yeah, I think we've navigated that well in our previous end of season tournaments, and that's the challenge we've got to do this time.
As you say, you're experienced in dealing with it, but is this the worst you've known this in terms of just the volume of players carrying problems?
Yeah, we've never had
Let's
so
see
many.
if James
We've never had
Trafford
so many unknown
will make
situations. We've had
the
you know,
Euros
tournaments where
major
we've taken
tournament
a player that we think
in Germany.
we're pretty certain will be back for a certain moment of the tournament. We've had tournaments where we've had two English teams in the Champions
wouldn't
League
pick
final and not
Jarell
had players for
Quansah
the
because,
games. So yeah,
he's need
they're
more
different
experience in
problems,
that,
but we're used
so
to
like
dealing with
he'll
it,
get in
and,
his head.
the
So
key
like
is making the best possible
so
decisions.
he
Do you plan to
still a
keep
young
the
player,
33
but
all the way through
just
to the
need
Iceland
to
game, or are you gonna
wait it
make a
out
release one or
until
two as you go along?
he's like
Yeah, I couldn't answer that accurately.
like
at the
how
moment.
he feels around
I think
the
certain pictures will
first team for now.
emerge and evolve, and other things might need to wait until right at the end, because obviously we have a game that night that you could have anything come out of that game as well. So, as I said, I always like to give players as much clarity as possible. I think that's helpful in these situations, but yeah, on this occasion we're not able to do that.
And just finally from me, did you speak to Ben White at all this time?
No, I mean, as far as I'm aware, he's not available.
Wow. It's been cut off, guys. Oh, so sorry. Wait there. I'll refresh the page though. Oh man. It's cut off. Just wait there, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. Been cut off though. See. Sky Sport News. Videos. So yeah. Oh well. It's being cut off. The live feed of what's been happening for the Gareth Southgate. So anyways, let's recap what's in the England squad now. Let's see if I can get this. So Marcus, let's recap for this. Marcus Rashford and Jordan Henderson has been left out for England squad. So let's recap who's in England squad. If I can find it. So yeah, hopefully
It's difficult to distinguish a scream of fear from a scream of excitement. Both equally.
well, that's it's ended now. Let's see the England squad. well. So yeah. Let's see who's been called for the England squad. So we have goalkeepers Jordan Pickford, Jack Butland and Dean Henderson. In defenders, Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier, John Stone, Joe Gomez, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. Midfield, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold, Gallagher, Rice, Eze, Bellingham, Maddison, Mainoo. In the forward, we have Kane, Tony, Saka, Foden, Palmer, Rash. Well, Rash is not available. So, and the addition in the squad is Bradway, Bowen, and Gordon. So yeah, we have. So yeah. So that should be it, guys, and thanks for watching my live stream channel. And I'll post more of my YouTube channel when the England, or maybe I'll post more content when I go to the England versus Iceland Bosnia Herzegovina in June 3rd. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave a like, if you want to comment down below. So I'll see you guys next time. Julius Vlogs out.